Do you realize that many individuals lack basic economic literacy and have no clue how to earn or save enough money to live a comfortable life? Only 1/3 of people globally can handle their finances competently. This implies that most people in emerging countries are approximately 3.5 billion adults. Almost 91% of the poor have no idea what causes them to be poor. Now let's get started. Number 1. The poor tend to waste money. It's a fact that the underprivileged tend to waste their money. Who hasn't scratched their head at the prevalence of Coke bottles in some of the world's poorest neighborhoods? Who hasn't noticed the consistently large amounts of candy, soda, and fast food bags flooding the dumpsters next to some of the most impoverished neighborhoods? It might be worth the cost if it keeps the family together and functioning. We must not judge the poor spending habits since we have no idea what use those apparently unnecessary goods serve in their lives. Number 2, the poor require instant gratification for fulfillment. The extreme form of the waste argument centers on the harmful drinking and other behaviors often seen in the field. Showing the negative return on investment in alcohol would be enough to change such behavior. Instant gratification is the need for temporary pleasures to meet their happiness regardless of the consequences of financial burdens it may cause. They don't recognize that holding off on those nightly takeout orders or expensive vacation trips in order to secure a better end goal for their financial lives is well worth sacrificing the immediate forms of pleasure. No amount of financial literacy training can fix this problem. Number 3. The poor make some clearly questionable financial choices. Our preconceptions about the ability of the poor to make investment choices rather than short-term pleasures may contribute to how attractive we as a society make financial education look in the first place. For instance, many low-income individuals spend their little savings on purchasing a few random stocks. Instead, it's insurance that guarantees at least a small amount of income every day, even if other sources of income in the home are unstable. Your insurance plans, by the way, have a negative anticipated return on investment. That's enough to cover the hidden expenses of administration, marketing, and protection against moral hazards. However, the poor are content to pay the price for the security it provides. Number 4. Do the poor overborrow? Oversaturation in the loan market is a product-specific argument for financial literacy. Sure, this could be mostly from the poor, but so could 99.9% of the world's population. The poor have borrowed from family, neighbors, shops, and moneylenders for ages, so they are scarcely unfamiliar with debt. Since contemporary finance may provide people with more easy credit choices like a credit card than ever before, they must ensure that lenders are not recklessly providing credit to already overextended families using effective consumer protection systems. It's no secret that most of our population is surrounded by credit card debt, paying interest month after month. This is something that those below the middle class fall victim to year after year as well. While educating consumers is essential, it won't be enough to prevent the types of credit cycles we have today. Number 5. Effects of financial literacy. Lack of financial literacy is a problem for people of all ages and socioeconomic backgrounds, and it may lead to decisions that harm one's life in general. Predatory lending, subprime mortgages, fraud, and excessively high interest rates may all rise from this, leaving many individuals with poor credit or even bankrupt. Those who aren't financially literate are more likely to rack up massive amounts of debt and make terrible choices about their money. If you have a firm grasp of money management, you'll have a much easier time grasping topics like the pros and cons of both fixed and variable interest rates. Studies on financial literacy have demonstrated that most customers lack the knowledge to comprehend and responsibly handle even the most fundamental financial ideas and products. Poor money management skills and inadequate financial planning for business and retirement result from a lack of financial literacy education. Number 6. The poor don't know how to use formal financial products. The use of conventional monetary instruments provide a further broad reason in favor of financial education. Let's suppose that the poor are adept at using the unofficial means of financial support at their disposal. However, these choices are usually subpar, and our beneficiaries would benefit from being introduced to more conventional financial services. But even when we provide them with up-to-date electronic accounts and several nearby access points, they seldom utilize them. People are generally inclined to withdraw electronic payments in full and promptly upon receiving them, quickly retreating into cash and the informal. This is a fundamental truth that the poor must confront, as making good use of these products require a significant shift in most people's mental models and behaviors about money management. Indeed, you've worked in an environment where a new business productivity tool was introduced. Still, nobody took the time to learn how to utilize it, and the whole company had to adapt its procedures to make room for it. Do you feel guilty because you didn't use it? We may never have the wit to design formal financial products that are intuitive and organically adaptable to the poor mental models and money management routines. But then we could have a more open conversation about promoting products effectively. What are the consequences of not knowing how to handle money? Similar to how generations are hampered by illiteracy, this prevents people from reaching their full economic and social potential. Financial illiteracy reduces one's ability to evaluate potential financial threats or opportunities. As a result, making sound financial decisions becomes more precarious and even harmful. Those who want to achieve financial stability are at a disadvantage. For instance, being financially illiterate might increase one's vulnerability to scams and fraud. Financial illiteracy intensifies the emotional burden of debt and reduces the likelihood of a workable debt resolution. People of all ages and areas of life may suffer emotionally, psychologically, and socially from the repercussions of financial literacy. So what is the big deal? There is an obvious need for financial education in this world. It worries me that many individuals in the 21st century have no motivation to further their education outside of basic schooling. A ton of research shows that adult financial education programs have long-term benefits, but it's not for lack of effort or money. Many people like it since it's simple to implement a test program and see whether it works better than a controlled group. A case may still be made for financial literacy training, but we need to be more precise about the data and theories that underpin it. Financial education must have a place in schools' curriculums, which is just simply not the case right now. In that way, we may create a more efficient means of transporting it. If you still have thoughts and questions about what you should know when it comes to financial education, definitely subscribe to the channel